G'day guys, I see a lot of people online mentioning that you need a super high-end gaming computer to do any kind of video editing, even for shorter videos for beginner YouTubers. So today, I thought we would put that to the test and try and edit a video on our 10-year-old Lenovo Chromebook, which is now running Windows Tiny 10. This Chromebook features an Intel Celeron N3150 CPU from back in 2015, which has a pass-mark single-core rating of 564 and a multi-core rating of 1172, which is pretty bad by today's standards. It also only has 4GB of soldered DDR3 RAM, so it's not user upgradable, and a tiny 16GB flash, of which only around 3GB is available after installing Windows Tiny 10. Because of that, we will be trying to install Davinci Resolve to a 64GB USB 3 first gen flash drive. This is not really intended to be a how to use Davinci Resolve guide, but more to see if you can actually edit on extremely low end but still modern hardware. Let's get into it. We're over on our Windows 10 Chromebook now, and I have opened Task Manager just so you can see it is the Intel Celeron N3150 quad-core CPU with only 4GB of RAM. We've inserted our flash drive and you can see we only have around 900 meg free on our C drive of 14GB. So we won't be able to install Davinci Resolve to the internal drive. We will try and install it to our flash drive. I have already downloaded the latest free version of Davinci Resolve, which at the time of recording is 19.14. We're just double clicking on it. You can see it has started extracting. And just going back to this PC while it extracts, we can see it does seem to be extracting to a temporary drive on C drive, and it does say it's full. So that won't work. I think we'll try and see if we can extract the zip. Before we extract it, we'll see if we can actually open it. Before it'll let us open, it does want to extract, so we'll cancel that. And instead, we'll go to extract to folder, and hopefully it works. It is reading and writing to the same flash drive, so I'm not expecting it to be very fast. We're almost 9 minutes in and we've just passed the halfway mark. It's finally finished extracting. That actually didn't take that long, only around 13 minutes. So we still have to install it, do the Resolve installer. Hopefully it lets us select the drive. Go next, I agree. So we don't want C drive. I want to try and install it to our flash drive, which is D drive. Unfortunately, it won't let us select it. What if I do like that? Okay, that actually worked. Oh, it must be on a hard drive. So it must know that it's not a fixed disk. So that's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works. I might see if I can dig out a spare USB hard drive and we'll try and install it to that, since I'm pretty sure that will detect as a fixed disk. Alright, and we're back. I just ended up popping my old laptop hard drive into a USB caddy. You can see here, we've got 157GB free. It is E drive, so we'll go back to our Davinci installer and hopefully it allows us to select it. It didn't, but I should be able to force it again. So that worked, but I do want to install it to a specific folder. There we go. So we've selected our Davinci folder. Go OK, and see if it actually installs. So it looks like it's finally finished installing to our external mechanical hard drive. Click finish, and we'll try and run it. We'll see if there's a shortcut on the desktop, and there is. We'll open that. It's been about 25 seconds so far trying to open, and that took just under a minute. We'll go continue. This is the free version. You don't need the paid version to start. We'll go skip and start right now. Now it looks like it doesn't like our iGPU, the Intel one, so we'll click quit. Oh no, it's still trying to load. Looks like it has fully quit. We'll check Task Manager, and it's not running. We'll try load it again. I wonder if we just minimize it, will it continue to start up, or does it close? It stopped reading from the hard drive, so I'm assuming it's not continuing. We'll click quit again. I'll see if there's a config, like Magic Design. There doesn't seem to be a setup, so it's a little while later, and I ended up downloading a very old version of Davinci Resolve, version 14, so we'll see if that installs. I did try extracting it, but unfortunately, the installer wasn't embedded, so it looks like this might actually be the installer itself. It looks like there is still a trace of it installed, even though I installed it, so we'll try and uninstall it again. There it is there. It does still say it's 4.5GB, but it was already uninstalled, so I'm not too sure what other files it has. I'm guessing it's just registry entries. Alright, that's uninstalled again. We'll close this off and we'll try and install version 14. It's a bit better. We'll keep it all as default. We'll go install. Hopefully it lets us pick which folder it installs to. Doesn't look like it is. I really hope it doesn't try and install to C drive just because there's no space. It looks like it has hung at 51%. I'll just check this PC. And we do still have 2GB free. It's supposed to be 3GB, but there's a lot of temporary internet files. That's why it fluctuates between half a gig and 3GB. It is still going. So we've got a little over 2GB available. If I refresh it, it is going down. So it is installing it to C drive, which is annoying. Since this is a very old version, it might just fit. We'll have to wait and see. So it has opened up to the installer. I'll see if it lets us pick D drive. Go to accept, next. And it does let us change the install folder. That is brilliant. Go change, and I will install it to the external USB hard drive again. So change it to E drive / Davinci, click OK. I'm guessing it just extracts the installer to C drive, which was a bit annoying, but we can get that back after. Go next, and install. And we've encountered a disk space error, even though obviously our external drive has heaps of free space. For some reason it is still trying to use C drive. We'll do retry. We refresh it, and yeah, it has used all of our free space, unfortunately. It is trying to install... Okay, so the panels have installed to C drive, but they're not that big. I was able to free up 900 meg total, so we'll see if we can retry. And it looks like it is continuing. Fingers crossed it does actually install. So we're getting there. It ran out of space once again, which is a bit annoying. I'll see if I can free up another 300 meg. I'm not too sure what else I can uninstall. It is pretty much a bare bones setup currently, but I'll try. I've freed up a little bit more. We'll click retry once more. I did actually end up just deleting the Davinci Resolve temporary install files from C drive, so hopefully it has already used them and it doesn't need them anymore. Unfortunately, I have fully run out of space. There's nothing else I can uninstall or remove. This is pretty much a base Windows 10 install at this point, so I might throw in the towel here, and I will try an even older version. But first, I'll install it on my main PC in a VM and just copy the files over. So fingers crossed that works. We're back once again, and this time I have downloaded Davinci Resolve version 11, which is from 2014, a year before this CPU was released. So that should be pretty much guaranteed to work on this. And if that still doesn't install, I've also downloaded the latest version of OpenShot, which is an open source video editor. Some of my first few videos were actually edited using that. So we'll start with Davinci Resolve 11. I also downloaded the Lite version, but we'll start with the full version. That's fine. It does want QuickTime, unfortunately. I guess we'll install that to C drive. And QuickTime's finished. We'll go finish. No thanks. And we're finally in the installer now. We'll go next. I accept, obviously. See if I can change it to D drive once more. There we go. E drive Davinci. Next. And install. Hopefully it doesn't run out of space on C drive this time. I guess I'll install the sound driver for it. And it's actually finished installing. That's a great sign. Close it off. Okay. Minimize this. And there's our shortcut. Hopefully it runs. It's a lot faster starting up than the latest version, which actually crashed every time because we don't have a GPU. I don't want to let anything through the firewall just because it'll try and update. So we'll close that off. No license dongle. It looks like the older versions do need a license. That's unfortunate after all that. Maybe the Lite version was the free version back then. So I'll uninstall all of this and we'll try once more with the Lite version before we throw in the towel and install OpenShot. We've finished installing Lite, so we'll launch it. This should be the free version. We did get a graphics card error once again. Our CPU does support version 1.2, so I'm not too sure why it's not detecting it. I'll click OK and hopefully it lets us continue. It does. We'll go set up my account. I'll just pick a username and password. There we go, log in. I'm guessing they're local users. And it looks like we're finally into it. So we'll go untitled project. Won't let us write to the cache folder. Gallery, it's fine. Does it let us continue? It doesn't. Oh, it does. We're back in. So I started with version 17 and this is version 11. It's a fair bit different, but we'll see if we can edit a video. So we're gonna go to edit. So it looks like we have to add a folder to the media pool under library. So we'll do that. So we've managed to import our clip and it just keeps crashing. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any versions of Davinci Resolve working on this 10-year-old laptop. We'll try one more thing and that's OpenShot. I finished uninstalling Davinci Resolve, so let's try and run the OpenShot version 3.3 installer, which is, at the time of filming this video, the latest version. Go run. Hopefully this lets us install it to our external hard drive. So I want 600 meg free. We'll install it to our E drive. So I've just pointed it to our external hard drive, E drive, which is good. I don't want it to send any data home. Go next and install. OpenShot actually installed with no issues. It only took a few minutes. So we'll go launch. Hopefully no GPU errors, but I'm pretty sure it can just use your CPU and we don't want any access, cancel. And here it is here. Go hide tutorial, import files. I'll just be using a H.264 1080p Big Buck Bunny video just for testing. Drag that to our timeline. I haven't used OpenShot for a very long time, about a year. So it looks like it is buffering the video. You can see at the bottom a little loading bar. We'll click play and see if it can actually play back the file, and plays back fine. If I can skip through, it is a bit laggy. There we go, it's finally paused. So I've done a quick edit. I've just cut the middle chunk of the video out and I added a background track. So nice and simple. It's about 2 minutes long. We'll go export and see if it works, and if it does, how long it takes. I want to try do it as 1080. There we are there. So 1080, 60 frames a second, and high quality. I don't want to do it to C drive. Instead, I want to export it back to our hard drive, and I'll just export it to Davinci. And we'll click export video, and fingers crossed it doesn't crash. It is quite slow. It's rendering 9 frames a second. So yeah, not the fastest, but I'm happy it's actually working at all, to be honest. Very limited RAM, very old CPU. Even when the CPU was new, it's very underpowered. We'll wait the 15 minutes it says, and we'll come back when it's done. So I've finally finished rendering at an average of 7.24 frames a second, as you can see. It took almost 20 minutes. No errors came up, which is good. So we'll click done. I'll close off OpenShot. I won't save the project, and we'll see if the finished video actually plays. There it is there. Untitled project, 250 meg. Open it in VLC. I do need to uninstall QuickTime later, just as a side note to myself. Sure enough, it works. So was video editing possible using a 10-year-old Intel Celeron based low-end laptop? I would say yes. I wasn't able to get any versions of Davinci working, which is a shame because that is my preferred editor, but OpenShot actually just installed perfectly fine, no issues, no weird quirks, and it wasn't actually too bad using it. This laptop can't actually play back 4K, so I didn't bother trying to edit 4K on this, but I can't see any reason 4K editing isn't technically possible, although it would be pretty painful and would take a fair while when trying to render. It did struggle slightly when trying to play back the video I was editing in OpenShot, but after waiting a few seconds, it did come good again, so it wasn't too big of an issue. Most of our issues that we encountered today came from trying to install to an external drive, just because our little Chromebook has such a tiny internal hard drive. But ideally, you wouldn't be using a Chromebook running Windows, and instead just a cheap budget Windows laptop with a full-size hard drive, and you probably shouldn't experience the same issues I had. The biggest hurdle you're going to encounter is rendering speed, especially without a dedicated GPU and a fairly low-end CPU. But if you're not really in a hurry, then you can always start the rendering and walk away and do something else and come back when it's finished. Hopefully this just proves that you can edit videos, especially smaller ones, if you're looking at starting your own YouTube channel on a low-end device, and you don't actually need a high-end, expensive gaming rig. I think that'll do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.